Right. Well, good evening, everybody. Hello. Good evening, everyone. So good to see all of you guys. Although we're on YouTube Live, I know many of you guys are joining us tonight. We're very excited to share some information with you. We have a lot of people to thank and lots of things to go over today. And I know many of you guys are very anxious and at the same time, excited about the new school year. I know you've received so many information recently, and so we'll try to see how we can do it correctly. And our meeting, I wish we could have met in person. This is very difficult in terms of trying to do this and speaking into a screen, and the fact that we couldn't engage live, it makes me sad, but this is what we have right now. We'll try to make it as informative as possible. And share some news with you. And so, again, we want to thank you guys for being patient. We want to thank you for just trusting us. We want to thank you for the ardent support and partnership. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the encouraging emails that you guys have sent, just cheering us on and saying that you guys are here with us side by side and supporting us, and that gives us all the energy. That gives us the enthusiasm. That is what Adobe Plus is all about. So thank you so much. I want to, again, welcome everybody here. I also want to welcome the new parents to Adobe Plus Elementary. We got close to about 100 new people coming in, kinder parents especially too. So welcome. I know you guys got ton of questions to ask. We all wanted to see your lovely kids in school and meet them. We'll be able to do that, I'm telling you, in the very near future. Right now, we are streaming live through a platform called StreamYard, and we have several guests that will be joining us today. We have some people that we want to thank. On the person who is working the control right now is a good friend of ours, Steve Segafis. You don't see him, but we want to thank Steve for all he's doing for our school right now. And we have several people on here. But opening the school, opening the district, at the county level, at the district level, this is a very difficult job. And one way or the other, it's very difficult to find a solution. And so everybody has been working very, very hard, day and night. Our teachers have been working nonstop, planning right now in order to open. And so we thank all the teachers who've been just going back and forth on this. We want to thank the Learning Support Services, our direct executive director, who has been just working day and night too. I don't think this guy ever sleeps. We're taking care of so many of the schools and questions and planning and pivoting when we need to change our directions to support kids. His name is Doug Johnson, the executive director, and also Kimberly Rentz. We want to thank them. It's not an easy job. We want to thank the cabinet members of our Poway Unified School District. You can just imagine trying to support more than 40,000 students in our district. Again, they're working nonstop for our kids, and our board members, as well as our board members taking care of the constituents and the things that they have to do to make sure they collaborate together and sending out the right information for the community. We want to thank them for their hard work. And lastly, Superintendent Dr. Marion Kim Phelps, just her work and the amount of investment, the amount of just collaboration, and it's not easy to try to open a school during a pandemic first time in any of our lives, something that we're going through. And so, we want to thank her and we want to encourage her. One thing that we can do is to send some positive messages to our superintendent and some of the people who are working day and night. I understand that, a lot of us are frustrated, anxious and angry, but, we are all listening together right now, and we have a bond together in wanting to open up a school. We want to see our kids in person, because that's what we need to do. And that's what makes our small school with a big heart work. And so let's send an encouraging message, if we can, to the superintendent, the board members, and all the people who's working behind the scenes. We want to thank you. And so we have lots of guests here who will be coming on today. And, the heart of our school is our amazing teachers. And our teachers are united in one, in making sure whether we go online or we come back to school, either way, our teachers are ready. We are prepared. They're energized. They can pivot any which way they can to support our students. And we are strong. We are strong together. We have just one of the best teachers on planet Earth. And so on behalf of the teachers, one of our teachers wanted to address our Adobe Blessed families. And I wanted to introduce you to Miss Julie Lowry, our kinder teacher. As you know, Miss Lowry has been at Adobe Blessed from the beginning and has seen our school just develop into just such an awesome school. And it's people like Miss Lowry who makes our school work. And so I want to switch it over to Miss Lowry. Miss Lowry, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for inviting me, and I'm so happy these families could join us. I hope you're all staying well and staying strong. I miss seeing you, and I hope we'll see each other real soon. Before I say anything, I just want to thank you for the phenomenal job you did at the end of last school year. Those of you that are returning, you were thrown into that job very quickly. You were very patient with teachers who were also thrown into it quickly. And we learned a lot from it, and we're outlining our goals moving forward. And I just really want to thank you because you were wearing lots of hats already. But I want to tell you that at Adobe Bluffs, I've been in touch with teachers all summer. Some of my colleagues are my best friends, and we talk all year long. And I can tell you, undoubtedly, that we are eager and we are ready. Like Mr. Park said, no matter which model we return to, bring it on. We're ready for the challenge, and your kids are going to be in great hands. One of the recurring themes I heard from teachers all summer, and everybody on their own just said, I want to build relationships with these students before I start dialing into a lot of assignments and work. We know there's a big job to be done, but we don't want to lose that first month of school feel. We're going to make sure we connect with your kids, and that I hope they feel connected to us, whether they have the jitters or they're excited to see old friends. Whatever platform we use, we're going to take good care of them. We'll be in close communication with you if we're virtual and trying to help you along. And we're ready. So I can't think of any other district I'd rather be doing this with than Poway Unified or any other school. And I mean that wholeheartedly. They will take good care of your family and our staff to make sure we get the best tools possible, and we're ready to go. So thanks for riding the wave with us, and we all look forward to see what the future holds. Let's hope we're all back together really soon.
Thank you for that message, Miss Lowry. Thank you for joining us. Miss Lowry will be joining us a little bit later during Q&A time. But you see the excitement of our teachers. We are ready for anything. And so please, please rest assured, whichever model that you want to take, we have you guys, okay? And with the new Virtual Learning Academy tied to our school, that's even better. And we'll explain all that. Next guest that we have is our Adobe Blessed Education Foundation new president, who will be addressing our school today. And we want to welcome, this is quite exciting. We have Miss Angie Robert. She's the president of our Adobe Blessed Education Foundation. Welcome, Angie.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. Like Mr. Park said, my name is Angie Robert. I'm the new foundation president following Michelle Chrisman, who held the role for 3 years. I have 2 kids in Adobe Bluffs, one who is going to be a 3rd grader, and then the other who is going to be a 1st grader, part of the immersion program. And then I have a baby who will be at Adobe Bluffs in 3 years. So I'm deeply invested and I'm around for a long time. But real quickly, I just wanted to share with you a little bit about the foundation. It's going to be a different year for us. And so the foundation is, constantly thinking about how we can support the students and the teachers in this new environment. But just so you understand, the foundation is the fundraising arm of the school, and our mission is to provide meaningful monetary support that will benefit all of the students and all of the teachers across the campus. We do things like fund teacher salaries, school improvements. This last year we did the library renovation, and then we also fund things like technology. So if you took home a Chromebook at the end of last school year, that was funded in part by the foundation. So this year, it's going to be different in every way possible, and the foundation is really working hard to ensure that we are figuring out how we can fundraise and support the teachers and all of the students, whether they're virtual or in person. So if you have any questions or you want information or you want to volunteer, you feel free to reach out to me. You can always find me online or visit abesfoundation.org, and you can email directly through there. Thanks, everybody.
Well, thank you so much, Angie. I appreciate the work of the foundation. The foundation is strong. We met already twice during the summer, and so we have a lot of great projects coming up to engage with all the parents. I'm seeing some of the comments saying that the resolution is coming out low. I apologize for that. The downloading speed is super fast, but uploading seems to be a bit slow right now. Hopefully the resolution gets a little bit clearer. Once again, I just want to remind folks, if people miss today's live YouTube session, obviously it will be on our YouTube channel recorded, so you will be able to get that. So next up, we also have the PTA, and we have a new president this year as well, and we want to switch over to Brenda. She is our new president. Thank you for joining us today, Brenda. Ni hao, welcome.
Ni hao, hello. Hi, everybody. My name is Brenda C.S. I'm the new Adobe Bluffs president for the PTA, following the former Brenda. So the name is easy to follow, right? Just Brenda. And I have 2 kids in Adobe Bluffs. Well, one is currently going to be joining 2nd grade. He is in the Mandarin immersion program. And then my daughter Sophia will be starting preschool in the fall. So like others have mentioned before me, I'm also fully vested in their education and supporting the school in the best way that we can. And really quickly about the PTA, there's various ways that we also raise money and fund money to support the programs that are in place. But really the mission of the PTA is to promote advocacy for quality education by expanding the arts, encouraging family involvement, promoting a healthy lifestyle, and building unity and inclusiveness throughout Adobe Bluffs. Super excited to be here, especially right now. I know it's very uncertain and challenging times, but my hope for you is that you and your families are well. And like everybody before me has said, we're here to really support each other and build community and do the best that we can. Back to you, Mr. Park.
Thank you, Brenda, for sharing all that info. Appreciate it. Just exciting for our PTA and Foundation working together, collaborating together in order to make our school just wonderful. As always, our past president, our new president, and our entire group, they're here to support our school. So thank you so much for that. Next person that will be sharing with you guys is our virtual learning and planning and readiness. As you guys know, we will be talking about this a little bit later on today. There is a highly likely chance that we will be starting virtually, and there's a lot of planning that's going on with that, training, scheduling. As you know, our school, when we closed on March 13th, or at least the 16th, we went immediately, again, the word pivot comes to mind, immediately be able to transform our school into a learning model online. And that is because our teachers were well trained in the blended learning model through the Voyager EdTech program, technology integration program, and that almost all our teachers were very much utilizing already in the last couple of years. And so the district has called on many of our teachers to be working on the virtual learning plan. And we're super proud of that because they're contacting our teachers for this virtual learning model and the way we did it, because we have the best practices. And I am super proud that 5 out of the 12 teachers working on this right now are Adobe Bluffs teachers. Wow. Amazing. This is how awesome our teachers are. And so one of the teachers that are leading this effort is our wonderful 5th grade teacher, Lauren Lemaster. And she'll be sharing with you a little bit about the planning and the readiness for this. So take it away, Miss Lemaster.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lauren Lemaster. I teach 5th grade. I've taught 1st grade and 3rd grade and 5th grade at Adobe Bluffs. I started my career at Adobe Bluffs years ago. I won't say how many because it's nice to feel young. But like Mrs. Lowry said, one of the things that the teachers are the most concerned about and the most aware of is our need to make sure that we're connected. And not only that we connect with the kids and that we connect with you, but also that the kids connect with each other, because we know how important that is. And so a lot of the teachers are already starting to plan what that might look like virtually, because we assume, we don't know, but we assume that we're going to be starting virtually. And so I have my notes over here, thinking about all the things that my amazing coworkers have been up to. They've been thinking about ways that we connect. They've been thinking about ways that we can collaborate with our kids and the kids collaborate with each other. And then also, how can we take our already robust and rigorous curriculum that we have in class and apply that virtually? And we're going to be doing that through blended learning, just like we kind of did at the end of last year. But I think what we'll see is a lot more structure. You'll see a lot more interaction than maybe we saw in the spring, which was kind of emergency distance learning. And now it's planned distance learning or virtual learning, whatever you want to call it. And like Mr. Park said, a bunch of us have been on a district committee making plans for essentially all the teachers in the district for the first 20 days and how we can take some of these things that we already do and make them engaging, just as engaging online. And we know that this is a very challenging time for all of you because you're the ones that are home with them. But we appreciate your support and we look forward to working as a partner with you and to figure out ways that we can be as successful as possible.
Thank you, Ms. Lemaster. That is an awesome information. Can you imagine that 5 of our teachers are working on the entire district a virtual learning plan out of the 12 teachers? Obviously, our district sees our school as a model school, and we're so extremely proud of our teachers that are in it right now. That includes Miss Lemaster, Miss Seckington, Miss Krumenacker, Miss Kapitsky in kindergarten. Miss Klein is also working on that as well too. And so if you see that sample schedule that you saw on the guidebook, those samples were worked on by our teachers. And so yay to our teachers. Unbelievable. So cool. Next is, through this whole process and this planning right now, our neediest students, our special education students, there's a lot of missing pieces there. And we want to make sure that parents that are out there right now with students in special education program, again, this is our commitment. Our commitment is to support every way possible. I know there isn't any concrete information out there right now, but information will be coming very, very soon. But with that said, we wanted to invite our resource specialist, Melissa Lopez, to just kind of give you an intro of what we'll be doing, just a brief overview. And so, Miss Lopez, Miss Melissa, are you there? Welcome.
Hi. Hi, everyone. So I'm Melissa Lopez, and I'm the RSP teacher here at Adobe Bluffs. I just wanted to let the parents know that have students with IEPs that your child will continue to be receiving instruction and related services virtually to the greatest extent possible. And regardless of which model you choose for your child, there will be a special educator involved with you and as a contact person for you as well. There was an email sent out to parents yesterday, I believe, from Greg Mizell, and that just kind of going over what the different models are again, but also just letting you know that they're currently working on a resource guide and frequently asked questions that the special education department's been working tirelessly on. That will be giving you a lot of answers and kind of guidance moving forward. So be on the lookout for that. They're continuing to work on that. As far as holding IEP meetings, they will be reconvening, whether it be virtually or if we're in person, starting September 2nd, now that the school year has been pushed back a little bit. For any students who were to be receiving some assessments or a reevaluation, the district's still looking into how that can be done if we're not in person. More information will be coming. I don't have any solid answers for you right now, but they are working on that. It's at the forefront of their mind, and we will definitely be getting that information out to you. Other than that, I don't have anything additional to add other than I'm really excited to continue working closely with our grade level teachers, our related service providers, families, and most importantly, your students who I miss very, very much. Whether it be online or in person, I can't wait to start working with them again. As far as if I am your case manager, I am checking my email periodically throughout the summer. So if you have specific questions, please reach out to me. I'll try to answer that as the best to my ability or find the answer for you. But I am confident that that document that the special education department is working on is really going to give you a lot of the answers that I know that we all have, as well as provide some guidance. So I am looking forward to a great 2021 school year, even if it's not the traditional way of starting school. I know it's going to be a great year with all of the supportive families and staff that we have at Adobe Bluffs.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for that information. Throughout all this, obviously, our social emotional learning for our students is absolutely important. We have been working very hard throughout this school year, and even in the upcoming year, that portion is very, very important. And so we do have our counselor, we have the student support services with Miss Alice. And as you guys know, the 3 tenets of our school is respect, responsibility, and safety. And we value the character development that we abide by. And just on a side note, one of the good news about our school this year is that we have been nominated as the Blue Ribbon School. It's the highest award for a exemplary school. And one of the key features in that application we put is our social emotional support as our key practice at our school. Our character development is a key practice. And so we're deeply honored by the nomination, and I know we'll win that award. We'll win it because of character building more than anything else. And so we want to talk a little bit about the social emotional support that we will be providing. And we wanted to invite our counselor, Adobe Plus counselor, Ivana Lopez. Ivana, how are you? Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Park. I am so glad to have the opportunity to talk a little bit about our social emotional support that we have that we've been working so hard on for our school. We are, and when I say we, I always partner with our student services assistant, Alice Berger, in providing our programs that we we're planning to continue counseling services, comprehensive counseling services, utilizing multiple, connecting with the students, providing, like Mr. Park said, we are character building schools, so that will transition in all the support that we provide from counselors into the classroom with the teachers. In addition, we have last year, and our students are going to be transitioning. They have needs. They need to adjust to everything that has been going on in our world today. And we are going to be providing social emotional lessons in the classes. For years, we have been doing Second Step. You will see that in the coming year, as well as other areas of needs. Our lessons will address that. Our lessons are shared with our teachers. And actually, I think Mr. Park had put a link on our reopening plan that has an attachment to the newsletter that we have. And in the newsletter, we typically have our lessons placed in there so that the students and parents can look through them together. So we share these, if we're going to be in a virtual format, we'll be sharing it with teachers, and it will be coming to you as well. That way you can look it over with your kids, which is a great thing. That's, I guess, an added bonus that we typically wouldn't have. We also provide student support, and when it comes to that, we work with our teachers heavily. We are going to be getting our referrals for counseling as I typically would from our teachers, and they will let us know who the students with needs are, and we are going to be pulling out students that way in working with them, not physically, if we're in a virtual mode, but we are going to be connecting with the students based on those needs. And we're going to be also providing parent support with some SEL learning supports for parents as well. We're going to be providing our typical referrals to Caring Connections. That's going to continue. We're going to provide referrals for the outside counseling as well, if that's needed. And always our most important is collaborating with this amazing staff that we have. I work at Adobe two times a week, and I definitely depend on working with everyone together. So a lot of the support that I get is from the teachers, and I am so happy to hear that they're already working on ways to connect the students, and I'm so excited for the moment that we all come back. Thank you so much for letting me have this time.
Thank you, Ivana. I appreciate all your support and just your enthusiasm to serve kids. We are so fortunate to have our counseling team that we can work together for our students. Extremely important, more now than ever. And they will be working with us very directly. I am so sorry about the technology issue for a second there, but I think what we want to get into now is our PowerPoint. We're going to be cutting down our PowerPoint significantly because when we prepared this, it was already about 3 days ago. With information moving every second, every minute, things keep changing. And one thing that's on there that you've already had information to is all the guidebooks that just came out are Google sites that we put up there. So it'll be a one-stop shop for you guys to look at. And obviously this Coffee Talk presentation, the slide, the PPT, the PowerPoint is already linked to our website. If you go on there, it'll be on there, okay? And obviously you'll be able to get the video after this broadcast is over. So Steve, can we go on the PowerPoint now? Okay, so we're gonna skim through many of these things. Let's move forward there. Let's see. So that's some awesome graphics there, as you can see. The coffee, I love that coffee logo. So our agenda, we're gonna skim over the governor's guidelines because I would say you probably know and you've already read through it. The PUSD reopening plans, that information has been going nonstop. And on the Adobe Bluffs reopening plan for learning, health, and safety, we as a committee worked on that, but it's a very, very, we're in a stage of infancy on that. We're continuing to build our site-specific plan. And so many of those information is from the district, and our site-specific things, we will be moving forward and streamlining it, making it tighter, and be more specific as we move along. And then I will be answering some of the questions that the questionnaires that we sent out earlier, highlighting some of those information and be able to verbally give you that info. In addition to it, I also updated the Q&A section in there. Due to time factor, due to the engagement portion here, I won't be able to answer all the questions that are on here right now. I know you've got hundreds and thousands, but I'm looking at all the comments. I thank you so much for all your support and just your energy that you're giving us. I see that a lot, that we're in it together, and we thank you so much for that. I know some of you guys are wanting to hear details right now, but some of you guys are brand new parents to our school, just school in general for your kinder kids. And so we have to cover every base right now. And so thank you for being patient as we move along. So under the governor's guideline, as you guys know, is we have to be under the watch list. We have to be off the watch list for the next 14 days in order for us to reopen. At this point in time, what we want to, at this point in time, I would safely say that if we were to reopen school, we will be reopening school virtually. As we see it as just, I think we can all agree, just a time factor right now. And if we do go virtually, I would say my best guess is that we would go until the first trimester. And then if under the health order, if we are off of that, and then we will be able to open school in a AM PM model, as we talked about, a flexible learning plan. And so that is the realistic outlook and forecast that we have. So therefore, the school plans that's on here right now, that's going to continuously change, folks, and more updates are going to come. And so our priority right now is to plan virtually for our students, and that's our #1 plan. And so we're going to share some of that. You guys know the governor's mandate, safe person school, local health data. We're constantly looking at that, and you guys are looking at that. And on the Google site, it's always updated. Next slide. Let's keep on moving. You guys know about the mask requirements. That may be continuing to be fluid as well too. But for now, all school staff must wear masks and face shields. Hopefully, lots of face shields, so that so we would be able to see, your kids would be able to see our lovely faces smiling. We want to show our kids that we're smiling all the time, that we're positive. hopefully the kids will be able to wear that as well too. Third grade and up is mandatory, and that students below that, it's strongly encouraged. And we ask all the parents that we ask for your cooperation in making that happen. We don't want to be the mask police. We don't want to be punitive in any way, but we want to be a partnership together and sending a message of being respectful, being responsible, and being safe. That's why we keep on mentioning that more than ever this year as we move along. But that continues to be fluid, and we'll see how it goes under the health mandates. Let's move on. We know about the physical distancing at this point, and so let's move on as well too. Regular testing and dedicated contact tracing. Let's move on. And so we'll talk about the rigorous, we won't call it distance, but we'll call it virtual learning platform. This is from the state. This was, it was very a short time ago, but it seems to be already a long history. A couple weeks ago, the governor said this. So let's keep moving. If school reopens, when should in-person learning close due to positive tests? We'll address that in a moment. Governor's mandate. Let's go straight into the POWE action. As a district, they have been working super hard on the action plans on that. And so we'll go over a little bit of that. And so let me see where we're at on streaming. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Action plan. So as you can see on the reopening facilities right now, what I'm hearing right now as we speak, all the bullet point here right now are beginning to show up at the school sites, and they are planning to installation. And this is all for tentatively if the school opens up in an AM/PM format. And so that we would be able to do the physical and social distancing and put the safety measure in place. And so what I am hearing is that some of the items have arrived. Exactly, I don't know exactly what has arrived, but I do know, I do know we have the face coverings. Those things are coming in. The plexiglasses, I heard some of the schools are getting that right now. And so we will update all of you when these things arrive. What we do have that is very exciting is that we have security cameras installed in front of our schools, which is fantastic news for our school safety. And so that's great news. Next slide. And so I'm sure you've read this. Further information is at this reopening guidebook that is available. That continues to be updated as well. Let's keep on moving. Right, you know the guidebook. If you don't have that, that's attached to our Google site that I sent. So that the link is on there. You can find that in multiple places. That's on our website as well. So keep looking at, keep checking back at that, okay? All right, next slide. Okay, Adobe Bluffs Aztecs Learning. Obviously, these are the factors on and the objectives for our school. All in the alignment within our district's curriculum. We talked about all this: health and safety, physical distance, increased sanitations, mask requirements, all under the alignment of our district as well as the San Diego County of Health. And so, we'll be talking about that as well too. Let's move on. So day in the life of the Adobe Bluffs on-campus learning experience. Look at our beautiful school. I wish the grass was a little bit greener there. And it will be, folks. It will be. It will be. God, I miss that place. How many of you guys miss our school going on campus? I do. I love Adobe Bluff Elementary, and I know you do too. And we want to be there as soon as possible. So these are just, again, these are hypothetical plans right now, and these are continuing to develop. And as we move along, some of our guest teachers are on here online right now. One of the teachers I didn't introduce is Miss McCready is here as well too, our first grade teacher. Welcome, Miss McCready. Good to see you.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're staying safe and healthy.
All right. And she will be monitoring some of our chat line here and with the live questions a little bit later on. But let's go back to the slide. Going back to the slide there. There we go. We're working on that. So the day in the life of our Aztecs, you know, arrival, break, lunch, time to go home. We will have the temperature checks. COVID-19 screening questions will be, you check on that, the information is on there. We will have the sanitizing station, multiple ingress locations, closed parking lot, driving high. We are asking people to drive when you come to our school, when schools open up. We will be in cohorts. And some of the arrival things that I wanted to talk about was, so if we do open and we do it in an AM, PM, and based on the Virtual Learning Academy or students who decide to do virtual, the numbers will decrease significantly. So even though that happens, we want to really put safety as our number one component. And that I want to ask everybody to be able to drive to school. I know some of the questions are people are wanting to walk to school. We kind of want to have that visual of, do you remember the Chromebook distribution or material distribution and pickup? That type of the drop off and pickup is what I'm imagining right now. And we will have at least 4 people taking contactless temperature and be able to do that in the car. So in case there are issues, there are illness, that we would be able to have the student go home or go back with you. And we ask for your cooperation in doing that in advance at home, and we're going to do that at school as well too. And so that we want to make sure our parking lot is safe as well too, and it will be closed, and driving again is highly encouraged, and the students will be in cohorts. We will have a staggered schedule. If you look at our time, that still needs to be updated in terms of the timing coming in and the 2 hours and 45 minutes, the break and the lunch. That's still being worked on. And we are very much creative in using this safe and efficient use of space. And cohort situation is very important to make sure everybody is in one area together with social distancing, not intermingling. Assigned recess area, bathroom, hopefully by grades and continuously sanitizing. And then time to go home, we'll have the safe port of egress and ingress. Timely pickup is essential, folks. The pickup portion is super important because of we have to be synchronized in that. And so physical distancing when feasible is important. If students are left there, it's very difficult to be able to manage that. So it's very important in collaboration with our staff members. That's highly encouraged. Again, closed parking lot and driving is highly encouraged. Again, things may change in October and November when we open up. So we never know how that would be. And so we got to keep looking at the latest health orders from the county level. Next slide, please. All right, a day in the life of the Adobe Bless Virtual Learning Academy experience. And so obviously we will be going online in the beginning. At least that is my best guess at this point. Highly likely that's how we were going to do it. They will be learning virtually 5 days a week. And Ms. Lemaster, feel free to jump in with some of the key points in here. Daily online interaction with teachers. You'll see that on the sample schedule on the virtual academy information from the district. As you see here, this information, again, on the sample schedule, you'll see, and this is what we will follow in the beginning stages for all teachers. Am I missing anything, Ms. Lemaster?
The only thing that I was going to say is that, looking at that schedule, it looks like there's a lot of screen time going on based on what the district gave. And I think it's important to note that, number one, your teachers are experts at child development, and they know how much is appropriate or not appropriate for your kids to be on the screen. And we can tweak some of that based on our own site decisions. So just because that's a sample schedule doesn't mean that's necessarily going to be exactly what our school is going to be doing. So if it seems like it's a lot, then just know that, your teachers are very aware of the kind of balance that your kids should have as far as live versus independent work.
Thank you for weighing in on that. I appreciate it. Right. I think, let's see, where are we? Okay. So next slide, please. And obviously this is the commitment from our teachers, creating a caring virtual classroom, and some of the key points that we will be putting in as we do our virtual classroom, which they've done all year long, and of course we are committed to doing this again. Let's move to the next session. Differentiated virtual classroom, just to write assignments. And as Ms. Lemaster had mentioned, there'll be a good balance of screen time, off screen time. And so that'll be great. Frequent parent contacts and checks. And you guys know how much we love engaging with you guys. And so whether the communication portion is through a phone, through a Zoom meeting, and if health orders lift up, we'll even somehow meet face to face, if that is even a possibility, practicing social distance and physical distancing. As you can see, the grade level student interest-based playlist to bolster voice and choice. Continue on. By the way, when we were talking about the arrival and departure, driving is highly encouraged. Of course, there are students that may need to walk onto campus, and so there will be a walk-on area where also the temperature monitoring will be taking place, and it will be near the gates next to the office or that area for. I'm sorry. I think committee members, remind me, what did we say that the walk-in area will be? Temporarily. I know. It was near the ESS area. I apologize. That will be another walking area. Just as an example, guys, there is a walk-up area though, but we highly encourage the driving portion. But anyway, I want to go over the similarity of Adobe Bless on campus and Adobe Bless VLA. And so the great thing again is that the Virtual Learning Academy is tied to Adobe Bless, which makes so much more sense. Originally, I know many of the parents, when you guys are making that choice, you guys were scared, frustrated, and anxious that our students are not connected with our teachers. And so I totally understand that. I would be too. So this is a great news, and that we will be supporting our students this way. And obviously, it's going to be rigorous. Both are going to be rigorous and innovative learning because it's our kids. Culturally responsive curriculum and instruction. Again, we keep on pushing the social emotional learning. Absolutely. Engagement and collaboration. That is what Adobe Bluffs is all about. Whichever platform we use, we will connect with your kids, on a daily basis. Meaningful assessment and feedback. That is absolutely important in our student learning. That way we will be able to monitor our students who are struggling or students who are advanced and ahead to support their learning, of course. Absolutely. Connections and belonging, our relationship building, engagement, all very, very much important. Continue on. Support for students with differing abilities. We talked about that right now. We will use creative ideas to engage with everyone. And again, very, very important, which you guys already do, parents as partners. We do this together. We will provide the resources for you, parents out there. I know it's extremely difficult to juggle, especially working parents. So we hope to find a solution and somehow alleviating some of that pressures that you guys are going through. We'll use we'll use innovation and creativity as much as we can to support you guys in that. Okay, and again, you see the link on there, reopening of Poway Unified Schools. Go ahead. Oh, and thank you, Shuri from ESS has joined us online. Thank you so much for joining us, our ESS supervisor. And she says we open to support families. They're still in the planning stages, and as you can see, extended service has worked extremely hard. Yesterday, our ESS department was called out for having a very successful program, and the County Board of Education had highlighted our Adobe Bluffs ESS program as being exemplary. And so we're super, super proud of our ESS program. So thank you so much for all your hard work. Next. All right, so have any questions? So what I want to be able to do is answer some of those highlighted questions from previously and try to answer some live ones. So let's put those questions on board. Can we have our teachers also in our monitor feed too, if we can?
Mr. Park, it seems like a lot of the questions that are happening on the right-hand side over here for us is they are curious about the 2 groups on campus and whether or not there's going to be the VLA group and then the on-campus group, and whether that's going to change in September or when we reopen. And as far as I know, and maybe Mr. Park or Ms. McCready can answer this better than me, but as far as from what I understand, it's all going to depend on what you all choose and the amount of students who choose on campus versus virtual. And knowing that we're probably going to be starting virtually, we're all going to be following the virtual learning model from the very beginning, but the classes will be kind of settled as these are the virtual learning kids and these are the on-campus kids in case we do get to go back on campus at some point.
That's correct. Again, this is still very fluid. We won't know exactly what will happen until we know the exact numbers. Our data will be coming to our school and how we are going to organize that. We also have to survey the teachers on which teachers will be doing virtual learning and which students are going to be on that. And based on that, we will be able to set the AM, PM classroom scheduling and as well as VLA. So that's ongoing. And still, again, my best professional guess right now is we probably have until the trimester to do it. I may be wrong, and we may have to, again, pivot to open AM and PM sooner. And hopefully we are able to open up sooner. Excuse me. But if we go through the trimester, we have plenty of time right now to plan for this virtual, and again, for a reopening committee to look at that and to support that program VLA, and our teachers will be very much involved in that. Can we start the highlighted questions? Maybe some of those highlighted questions that we put on the Q&A might have been answered through some of the additional Q&A that are in there. And so one of the questions are on there is, will temperature check? Oh, look who's joined us. Hi. Who is that, Miss Lemaster? Who is that? Can you introduce?
Oh, this is my daughter, Reese. She just came back from the beach, so she's saying goodnight to me, so she will not be a further distraction.
Welcome, Reese, to Coffee Talk. All your teachers. Oh, how cute.
Can I see you later?
Oh.
All right, you guys got coaches and everything. All right.
Mother like daughter.
Our future Adobe Bluff student.
Yes, in just a couple
smart,
years.
all bright. So super cute. All right, so our opening committee members and our instructional leadership team are here to support and answering some of these questions, and also my emotional support. There are teams. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so will temperature checks and screening questions be done in the morning? As I mentioned earlier before, there will be temperature checks in the morning. Hopefully, as there will be at least about 4 stations or so in the car. We'll be out there doing the monitoring and the screening questions. I'm not sure about the screening questions that the district will be providing or not. That's to be determined. And any students walking into the campus, we will have a monitoring portion on that throughout the day. And also the PM class, PM students coming in. Next question. Will there be any additional health checks throughout the day? If necessary, yes. We'll have a communication line with our teachers on campus, and we'll make sure that if needed, our health techs, Ms. Sunday North, would be able to do that and safely be able to monitor. And if there is some sort of an issue, we will have a safe area where students will be waiting for parents to come and pick them up. That's still to be determined. We want to have a very open space where if there are multiple students in there, that they're able to physically distance themselves. So thankfully, we do have a very, very big school. And so that room right now is still being determined, pending if we open in after the first trimester. Go ahead, the next question. Will parents be allowed to walk students into the campus and pick them up from campus after school? Not into the campus. You are able to walk the student to campus to the entering portion. But again, we want to encourage parents to drive more than anything else. There will be a walk-up area, but not into the campus. Only essential workers, teachers, and staff members will be in school, which will be the same thing for the volunteers, I'm sure, which I think is one of the questions too. Next question. Will we have the ability to talk to our child's teacher in person? We would love that. Hopefully we can do that. All the teachers here want to be able to talk to you guys in person. If the health orders are lifted up, whatever the tools that we have available, I will have all the face shields that's been donated to us from a separate source. We're going to give it to you. I got some of those face shields for our teachers from one of the Korean grocery stores in Convoy to give to our teachers, so our students will be able to see our teachers smiling and talking. And so hopefully they will be able to meet with you. That is a hope and dream, guys, of all of us. Is that right, teachers? Thumbs up if you agree with me. Next question. Will they, somebody said from 6 feet. Yes, from 6 feet. Yes, we'll see each other. Will there be staggered drop-off and pickup times? That is a good question. we'll get back to you on that staggered drop-off time. So for now, what we're trying to do for the drop-off, if our school starts at 7:45 on this contingency plan or AM/PM class, we want to encourage everybody to try to get here a little bit early, maybe even by by 7:30 start coming in, and so students can get out of the car and go directly into the classroom. That's our plan right now, and that's why we want to have like 4 different checkup points. So what I'm imagining right now, what we're imagining, previously we had the traffic circle, right? But we're looking at extending the drop off to all the way to like what we did before in terms of like Chromebook pickup and material pickup and drop off line. But I know that we will need to redesignate, and we need to kind of, again, we're going to use that word a lot right now, pivot. We may have to pivot because we may have to put our special education buses there for drop off, and that area is going to still be the same. Miss Lowry.
Yes, Mr. Park, I saw a couple questions on the comments chat room there. Parents were asking if they would have a choice of going to the AB model instead of the half-day model. And I imagine they're trying to arrange work schedules and all. Can you address that? Because it kind of has to do with drop-offs while we're on it.
That's very difficult to answer right now. First, we were told it would be an AM and PM. It's not an AB model. That would be for high school. So right now, for elementary, it's AM and PM. And originally, it was said that it would be differentiated to support the families by alpha. But right now, that seems to have changed, and we're looking at additional updates from the district and guiding us in that decision.
It seems the district's idea about it, sorry to interrupt, but it seems like they're to connect the kids with their teachers every day in person, and that's why they were thinking for the elementary school kids to have them on campus 5 days a week. And then also because ESS would be able to be there to utilize the other half day for kids who needed it, that would maybe be easier than being, in ESS all day, 3 days a week. And then, I think that was their idea about it, was it would just be easier and better for the kids to be able to connect with their teacher every day.
Understandable. That makes perfect sense. But right now, the narrative from the district level seems to be AM and PM. And so stay tuned, folks. Information continues to change daily.
Yeah, seems like there's, just so everybody knows, the district is the one mandating this AM, PM. It's not like Adobe Bluffs has the option to be its own being at this point. So there's some questions like, are we for sure doing that? Well, we're for sure doing whatever the district tells us to do. And at this point, the district's telling us that elementary is going to go morning or afternoon. And it says, do you already have too many students to do full days every day? At this point, we have no idea how many students we have planned for virtual or on campus and what that's going to look like. And that's going to just take a few weeks for us to know. But whatever the district is going to do across the board is what Adobe Bluffs is going to do. We're not going to be our own. I wish we could be our own island, but
we want everybody here. Everybody. That's our hopes and dreams, of course. And so even if we go virtual model, folks, I'm sorry, not virtual model, we go AM and PM, the key is to try to lessen the amount of students. And so, we need that data before we would be able to answer those questions. And so the key is, if we had the full thing, AM, certain class will be 13 students, or 8 or 9 would be ideal to practice social distancing and or physical distancing. So stay tuned. More information is coming on that, and keep on checking the Google sites that we created. The information is constantly updated at the district level. Next question. Will there be separate time for special needs drop off and pickup? More information is coming up on that with the special ed team providing a town hall meeting. At least that's temporarily scheduled. Exactly, I don't know when, but obviously all our teachers will be there to greet our students. Our instructional assistants will be out there. The special ed buses will be exactly at the same place where we have always picked up our students and dropped off our students. So stay tuned for more information on that as well too. Oops, I said we'll do it till 7. It's 7:05. I apologize, guys. We'll try to get to it all. What time will school start and end? So basically, right now, if we do the AM PM at the trimester, our school will remain the same as 7:45 and end at 2:05. There is time banking on Thursday. We don't know what that looks like right now because that is still being determined on how we are going to make that schedule. And depending on the district's guidelines on that, our instructional leadership team, our reopening committee members, it's not just the 3 of us. There's more. There's about 7 or there's actually about 9 of us. They haven't been able to join us right now, but 3 of us are here right now. So we'll be working on that plan. Okay. Next question. Will students be encouraged to wash their hands before or upon entering the school? Guys, that is all of us, hopes and dreams, and a real thing that we got to do. It's an action plan. One thing that we know is that our kids know how to wash our hands and to the tune of Happy Birthday. But guess what? Adobe Bluff students even know how to sing that in Mandarin. You saw that on Thursday Sing. So they could double the action, washing hands. So we'll encourage that continuously, and I hope you guys do that before, as well as we will be on the students like hawks, making sure our students are sanitizing our hands, and all those equipments will be there, hopefully. Next question. Great question. Will students still have access to all extra? We will do our utmost best to put all that in. As you know, the library are amazing. Our librarians in our district and our librarian have proposed library access, and that is a proposal right now, and that's going to be processed at the district level, and you can take a look at it on the link and what's been proposed. And so we've been working very hard on that. At this point, PE at the state level, they understand this is an extremely challenging environment this year, and so PE at this point is waived, but we will highly encourage physical activity in many different ways and embed it into our lessons. During this time, our English language arts and our math will be the key component this year, and many of these other contents will be weaved in together as we move along. And art as well as music. In terms of music, at the county level, at the state level, at this time, choir and instrument is still not allowed, but I'm hearing different information on that. That choir is allowed if it's outside, and the instrument portion is continuing to develop. You know anything more, Ms. Lemaster?
I was gonna say I have spoken with the band teacher a little bit, and they are making some plans to do some things on. We are Friday right now. Friday is a normal band day as far as we know, and she's going to be scheduling live meetings with the kids. I don't know what a band program is going to look like virtually, but I think that's the plan. That's the hope.
That's the hope and dream. One of the comment is so funny. How do you say subscribe in Mandarin? Yes, if you know how to say it, subscribe. In terms of FLES, yes, FLES will be provided. We have some additional support virtually, asynchronously, and supplementally. We will be providing FLES. It will be pushed in this year if school starts. We have Miss Ariana Chen, who will be supporting us in that event. This FLES program is so important to our school because we could merge in everything and culturally relevant for our students. So it's very, very important during this time that our students are better prepared globally, and that all the false information that are out there, that our community is better prepared with knowing a different culture. And so we hope to build that in, and we hope to build that into our famous FLEP program, the foreign language for elementary parents. So you parents who want to learn Mandarin Chinese, hey, we're going to make that happen too. All right, guys? And so sign on and subscribe. So be on the lookout for that, folks. All right, next question. And speaking of the Mandarin program, the Mandarin immersion parents, I know many of you guys are out here right now listening to our general information. And I know you guys are extremely anxious in that. I know we sent you some Q&A information today and Padlet information for you guys to put questions on there. Folks, Mandarin immersion parents, do not worry. We got you, okay? You will be provided the Mandarin immersion instruction from our awesome teachers, and we have some new staff members to support you in that. So we will be meeting next Wednesday for our Mandarin immersion community meeting with detailed, specific information for you, all right? So do not worry. What will school look like if we choose in person, but the school needs to start virtually or pivot to virtual learning after school has started? And so we kind of, I think, addressed that situation already. But right now, the full day in school operation right now is on hold, and we have changed over to the AM/PM model. That will all depend on what the San Diego Health Department says. But on virtually and in school, we have that plan and set in place. Yes. Go ahead, Taylor. Yes.
Hi. I just want to chime in on this really quickly. Our Adobe teachers are great at collaborating with each other. So I know a lot of people are kind of concerned about if they choose in person and then they have to go virtually, if the same type of rigor will be there. But knowing that our teachers all collaborate and plan together, since there will be virtual learning academy teachers, just know that everyone will be working together and you know, syncing up our plans and our learning so that if there needs to be a pivot, it will be smooth, and they will have plans and things that they know how to do if they do need to implement that virtual.
And then there's a lot of questions on the pop-up too about the homeschool program, and they'll be enrolled. And Mr. Park and Taylor, you might know a lot more answers than me about the homeschool program, but from what I understand, it's a curriculum that's provided by the district, and the parent is the one who is delivering it. You will not have one of us as the child's teacher planning the curriculum. That being said, it's very flexible. So if that's what you wanted to do, but you're still considered enrolled on our campus. Let's see. Correct. Other question.
Any other add-in?
It works a little bit more like the teacher is a case manager, so you'll have, you know, like a weekly meeting with the teacher, but you are responsible as the parent for delivering instruction and monitoring instruction. So it's a little more self-sufficient. There is a little more flexibility in time because you kind of plan when the different activities happen, but you are the main teacher and facilitator for your child's education in that program.
Correct. And if you choose to come back to Adobe Bluffs, you do have a spot at our school. If you are a, yes, go ahead.
We did have a question though, is if they chose homeschool and then they decided in January that they wanted to come back to campus. The only thing is, and I don't know, Mr. Park, I assume they would have a spot, but the only thing is that the district provided curriculum might be on a different pace.
That's correct.
Than what we are going to be providing during VLA and on campus. So just keep that in mind, that if they were to come back, they may have learned things differently or at a different order than, and I think the district is trying to build upon their homeschool program. I think it's been a while since they've, updated it. So I think they've been working on that, and just knowing that it's not going to be the same as if, Taylor and I are collaborating and she's VLA and I'm in person, than it would be than you doing the teaching at home. So just keep that in mind as far as going back and forth.
Wonderful. And so that information continues to be fluid as well. And, to connect with their case managers and our teachers, that could be something that may happen. I don't know. And so the home learning, that option has come into light pretty recently. So they're working on that right now. Okay. Let's go on to the next question. I noticed that Ms. Boyd is joining us right now. Hi, Ms. Boyd. Thank you for joining us. Our wonderful TK teacher is on a line here with us today. I see Mr. Luciani. Mr. Luciani does love this one. Yay, Mr. Luciani. Welcome. Thank you. Will there be opportunities to pick up handouts, printouts, and instructional materials? We will need to meet with our instructional leadership team on that. I understand there are some challenges in terms of accessing handouts or like printing out at home, that you may need some support in that. We may need to be able to connect with you in advance, and we will work with you individually on that. But right now, we don't have an overall plan on it, but we will address this matter at our ILT instructional leadership team meeting that's coming up very soon.
And Mr. Parker, isn't it safe to say that each teacher will still conduct the back to school night, even if it's virtual? They will have that opportunity for the teacher to disseminate lots of information.
Probably early.
It really varies grade to grade. We all have different things to say, but we promise your teacher will connect with you, virtual or in person.
Virtual or in person. We have some ideas going back and forth on that as well too. So it's going to be very exciting.
The district has assured us though that we have those paper materials, the math books and the benchmark pamphlets and social studies and all of that stuff. They've assured us that we have that, and it will be available for you guys to pick up. It won't be the same like worksheets and things like that. So you may want to think about investing in a printer. Just think about that now if you don't have one.
Okay, the next question. How will students be socially distanced? Will class be held outside, spread out between multiple classrooms? As we said on AM and PM classes, those classes will be smaller significantly. If you see our Adobe Bluffs real estate, it's a gigantic, gigantic place. And our teachers are super creative, and they have the freedom to utilize spaces if they want to. So that's something that we could look at. Even during our traditional school year, many of our teachers utilize the outside space for students to learn, and our beautiful garden out there, with their Chromebooks. And so, is that an out of the question? Absolutely not. We may be able to do things outside. That all depends on what the teachers would like to do. Connecting with other teachers, of course, and practicing and synchronizing the right time. So that there isn't the intermingling, at least temporarily. Yes, Miss Lowry.
Mr. Park, I see a recurring theme really happening in the chat room right now about our immersion families. They are expected to make their decision by Friday, even though their coffee talk is not till next week. Is that correct?
That's correct. And I completely understand. I could not put that information here at our meeting because I want to be able to specifically address those issues. And so, choose what is best for you, because we are going to make it equitable either way. I would have had an issue if they had, if the district had mandated that VLA, if the VLA, Virtual Learning Academy, if you chose Virtual Learning Academy, we would have a separate whole person doing that program. Then I would have had a different information right now. But when it was revealed that our teachers will be teaching our students, either either platform, we will be there. So, it's depending on your comfort level, folks, because the information we'll be sharing with you will be equitable. So, choose what is best for your family at this time. And we will answer exactly what you need to hear and let you know that we don't know if we don't know. We're not going to skirt the issue. And so I'm sorry I couldn't address it tonight. I apologize. We provided as much information as possible for you. And ask those questions on that Padlet too, and we're answering as those information are going on. We've been answering it all day with our Mandarin Immersion team. So continue to looking out for that. So let's go to the next question. How will students store their school supplies? What are some answers on that? Well, when they come back, I'm hoping that they will have their individual accessibility to their supplies, and storing them would be their own boxes and what have you, and cleaning and sanitizing. What would be a sample idea you would do, Miss McCready, for your classroom? What would you envision?
Pencil boxes are a pretty clear choice. Communal supplies are no longer a thing that we're going to be looking at. So just things like pencil boxes, having their booklets in a specific place that's just for them, whether it be, I used to do like little magazine holders, and they each got their own magazine holder, and that's where they would store their own specific stuff, so their materials wouldn't
Good point.
mingle.
Good point. Thank you. And obviously, our incoming kinder, there's going to be a lot of learning happening. And Miss Lowry, you want to share a little bit how that would be done?
We are ready. Whichever model we go with, we'll teach them those going to school skills that they will need. And obviously, they're probably going to be introduced to technology a lot earlier than we would have typically. But we'll start right away with proper handling of technology and being responsible citizens on technology. And when we do get to the classroom, similar to what Ms. McCready said, each child will have their own issued Chromebook so that they're not handling one another's. They will put it in and out of the cart or whatever the storage system is. And it's part of what we do. We'll make it developmentally appropriate. Like Mrs. LeMaster said earlier, that's the thing to keep in mind, is your teacher knows their age group.
Wonderful. As you can see, our teachers are well prepared. All right, next question. Will there be additional custodial staff members hired to manage the large amount of cleaning that will need to occur? That is a fantastic question. So
You're looking at them. Just kidding.
You're looking at all of us.
Yeah, we'll all
It
be
takes a
cleaning.
village. Folks, this is the attitude of our teachers, though. I hope you guys know this. They're taking on this responsibility to look out for your kids and look out for one another. This is a true community, folks. You see many different districts out there, they're squabbling over that. Our teachers they sacrifice, they are loving, they are wanting to do it, and they are committed for our school. Our staff members, our office ladies, our instructional assistants, our custodians, they're all in it together. And so, if the additional emergency funds come through to the state, maybe it'll funnel through our district. I don't know. Maybe there will be some additional support that comes on their way for Giselle and Scott. And so we hope and pray that will happen. Go ahead, next. How will students be socially distanced, and how will this be enforced? Well, this is about partnership, again, with parents. Again, we do not want to be, the kids are already so in this environment that's just, it's very stressful for parents and things. So when they come to our school, we want to make sure that they're comforted and they're loved and that they're being cared for. And so it's not going to be a punitive action, but it's all about education. And so, and to make sure we practice by example, what that means. and to be respectful, to be responsible, and to be safe. And this takes a whole village to educate our students in doing so. And so I don't know about enforcement, but continuous education will have our students be engaged in that six feet. And we have to continuously educate. It takes practice to do so. So while we are virtually learning, we ask for your support in that and continuously have that as a dialogue with your students if we were to reopen and go back. We will do our best to make sure our plan is through for safety for our students. Next.
We had in the transition, we had a question about how many students are going to be in each class for virtual learning. Our class sizes are actually staying the same. So if you're in Virtual Learning Academy, you're going to have, if you're in 4th or 5th grade, you're going to have 32 kids in your class. If you are in campus and you're still going to have 32 kids, but then that would be split in AM, PM. So you would have 16 or 15, depending on the number. But our class sizes are actually not changing. And then we had another question based on that, if the teachers can handle being AM and PM and virtual. Sure.
And custodian.
Oh, and a custodian. Yes, sure. We'll figure it out. We're a team.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adobe Bluffs has the best teachers on planet Earth. So let's give a virtual round of applause. Yay!
All teachers.
All teachers, but especially Adobe Bluffs because I am biased. As you guys know, we will be figuring this thing out. And thank you for so much love on the comments that you've given us. Thank you so much for that positivity. Adobe Bluffs, we are a small school with a big bursting heart. Do we have any other questions that's on there in terms of, I know that every year when we do traditionally, every year we have that back to school picnic, and how much do we love that? And we are so sad that we're not going to be able to do that, but we had so much fun, that community carnival feel. Last year I was in a dunk tank. That was fun. One year I was duct taped to the wall. One year I was throwing a pie by a bunch of kids, and that feel will be gone. But I promise we will have something similar to welcome kids back somehow. If the city allows, we'll do something similar. I know we talked about something fun. Miss Lowry, you want to chime in?
If I can just throw something out real quick, because I'm sure there's a kindergarten parent out there somewhere wondering if we will still open with half-day schedule, even if we're virtual. Historically, kindergartners come for half of a day for the first 5 weeks of school. We call that transition days. TK remains half-day for the entire year. Last I heard, Mr. Park, correct me if I'm wrong, is that schedule will remain in place. They will start later at the beginning for the first 5 weeks. We'll roll things out virtually. That will give us extra time in the afternoons to do some one-on-one assessments through computers and chat rooms and Zooms and so forth. But if you're trying to plan your schedule, I thought they deserve to know that.
Yes,
that's a great question. It's a great question. Answers pending. I need to know, unless you guys have heard anything else. I do know that the plan hasn't changed in terms of kindergarten students. In terms of the first 5 weeks, that's still in place.
In my meeting that I was in the other day, they said that the kindergarten is still going to start the same. It'll be, and then same with TK. It'll still be that shorter day. And then we have some questions over here about if we choose VLA, will we get an Adobe Bluffs teacher? I think the goal is for the district to keep us all together. I think it's honestly going to depend on numbers. And because we're such a small school, there may be some shuffling around, and we don't really know what that's going to look like until we get some numbers in. And then someone else asked about the AM/PM schedule and whether or not they can select it. Originally, we were supposed to be doing it by last name. Then the superintendent said that you guys will get to choose AM/PM. So I actually don't know the answer to that.
So I
But
think
siblings will be able to be kept together. I can't imagine that they would separate that. That doesn't make sense.
And so, yeah, and I think, the preference portion is now omitted, and that I think it's to AM and PM, and stay tuned for how that's going to be how that's going to be combined together. So the information is still moving forward on it. And so many of our teachers have stayed here for a long time, and our parents, thank you so much for this great community meeting. Mandarin immersion parents, stay tuned. We're ready for you next week. Do not worry. Choose what's best for your child, and we again will be supporting you. I want to thank all the positive comments that are on here today. We thank you. We love you. We miss all your kids. We're looking forward to seeing our incoming TK, kinder, our preschool students. Love, love, love seeing those guys. I wish we could see them in person. Thank you for being so patient. Thank you for, again, supporting us tonight. This video, this YouTube live meeting is recorded. And so subscribe on our Adobe Bless channel, and this will be linked to our website. We want to thank you all for attending tonight's event. I guess Ms. McCready has one more thing to say. Ms. McCready, go ahead.
Hi, sorry. I just wanted to let you all know, I know there were quite a few questions in the comments area and on the Q&A page that didn't get answered, but we've been taking all of those down and recording those, and they'll get added to the Q&A page. So all of your questions will get answered. So I just wanted to reassure you, if you didn't get your questions answered, they will be answered on that page once we get some good answers for you all.
So yeah, adding on to that, as you know, we've attached additional Q&A in there, and so we'll continue to update that as well. So keep checking back on that based on some of the information that we asked today. So I think one of the parents here had said the dunk tank was epic last year. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. Yes, we'll do something very creative to welcome you guys all back. I promise. We'll work on something. Okay, guys? Thank you again. I appreciate all of you guys. We'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Steve. Steve was on the control machine today.